Welcome to the Tear Your Fucking Face Off, Jensen from Loadstar. How are you doing?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for having me. It's nice to finally talk to you with my actual voice instead of text.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time. We've been chatting for a very long time, on and off now. So,
How you been doing, though?
oh yeah, well you know me, busy. I managed to
Yeah.
get an extra day off work today, and my task list fills this page for the next 2 days, and it just keeps getting longer. And whilst they're nice, all written in one line, 2 or 3 words, they're all big tasks. So, but yeah, that's just me. What have you been up
Do you
to?
feel okay too? No, I'm just chilling. Had my day off today, so I finally had time to finally talk to you.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm really excited to talk about music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to go, man. But how are you feeling though? I know you were sick for like a day or something like that. But
Yeah,
you feeling okay?
I had a day of burnout, which is not surprising the rate I've been going. Well, since I've kind of started working on Banged Up, really. Um,
Yeah.
but and then yeah, a slightly ill day yesterday, but nothing too serious. And now I'm back on form, so that's all good. Anyway, enough of me. I want to know how you started, kind of musically.
Well, I started playing about guitar about over 10 years ago, and I just kind of just started playing like covers and songs and all that. Then I eventually started writing my own like instrumentals.
Hmm.
I didn't record anything, but I just like played over like maybe like some drum tracks you find online or something.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then after that, after a few years of doing that, I was like, there was this one song in particular, but I was like, I just need to get some vocals put onto it. I was like, it's finally time to find somebody to like help me out and put some vocals on 2 songs that I thought were good at the time, but now when I look back, it's terrible stuff.
Well, I'm sure it's not as bad but I totally understand the self critique involved because I do
Yeah,
exactly the same thing.
but no, I listen back and I know it's bad.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I know it's bad. But yeah, that's basically how I started personally. And I don't consider myself any kind of like musician or anything like that. Whenever like somebody calls me a musician, I feel very awkward about it because I don't feel like I am at all. I
Really?
just feel like, yeah, I feel really weird
Well,
about it. I just feel
man,
like somebody play a guy that plays guitar. That's all.
well, yeah, this is a nice humble way to put it, but I think I understand that kind of struggle because you almost feel like you have like imposter syndrome, or you're fraud, or you're not quite there yet, or you're not adequate, or even when you are adequate, you don't feel you're putting enough investment in terms of practice and developing your skills. So then you feel diminished even as you're progressing. And the thing I'd like to encourage you to think about is when we have a dream, it sits in our head and it remains in there, and it's a dream. It doesn't become a reality until you vocalize it, verbalize it, and bring it out of the recesses of your mind and into the real world. So you've already achieved these couple of albums. Your Polaris album, which we'll come on to, is an extreme amount of effort and very well polished, amazingly sounding. And you've got all of the ancillary bits from the actual kind of the music itself through to the vinyl and all of that. And you've got the imagery, and you've set your band up exceedingly well. And that is the act of a musician. So I would encourage you to start kind of, it will sound silly the first few times, but start calling yourself a musician. The more you say those words out loud and the more you think them, the more it will actualize. And a year from now, your projection will be even, a steeper curve. Because
Yeah.
it worked with me.
Mhm. Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate like, all the the kind words there. But it's just I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at appreciating what I guess what people say about me. Also with Kate too. I know she's not here, but I'll say what she mentioned to me sometimes that she obviously everybody deals with self doubt and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
and confidence with some of their own material. So I mean that's for any artist. But just personally for me and her, we are always you know are humble about our stuff. We don't try to like say, oh, it's the best stuff in the world.
Oh,
There's always room for improvement. So we are very just humble about our stuff, and we know there's more room to improve. So, but yeah, we're getting better at accepting the things that we have done good.
Yes. Yeah, well, there's a lot of credit. There's a lot of credit there to accept. You should both be exceedingly proud of yourself. So, how did you two kind of meet?
Well, basically, so I mentioned about that song, that instrumental. I was like, I need to find somebody that will help me put some vocals on this, because for some reason I thought it was like it was better than the ones I've done previously. But anyway, yeah. So I scoured the internet and stuff like that to find somebody that could help me put a top line and some nice vocals on it. And then eventually found a place where musicians could collab and work on material with each other. And then I found her, and I was like, that's the one. That's the voice I really want to try and put onto my music. And she has a lot of experience with previous bands she's had before, and she's taught me a lot, man. Like, she's amazing. She's so kind and so, yeah, man. She's really good. She helps me out a lot, and she taught me a lot of stuff as well. I'm still learning from her.
Right, so that's awesome.
Yeah. So then we did that, and then eventually one song became another, then became another, then became a whole album. Then a few albums later, here we are now.
Yeah, I mean, my fear would be going into that kind of way of, let's say, if I was looking on various platforms for a vocalist, my fear would be that they would disappear one day or something. And so you two become, it sounds like you two have become quite close knit as a result of the project.
Yeah, we definitely have. I could really proudly say that I could call her a really good friend now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really happy to say that now, because she's so talented and so experienced that I can imagine having a friend like with that kind of talent, And I know when she hears this, I'll send her the video when it's done. But I know she's gonna be like, I'm not that good, and I'm just over exaggerating. No, she's really that talented, really that kind, and really that special. And glad to have developed that relationship to where we could be a little bit more, like friends, and just chat about stuff. I can't appreciate her enough.
Oh, bless. It's such a wholesome kind of story, and you have such a wholesome sound combined together. So all that brilliance that you see in her, she surely sees in you. So yeah. It's a very nice union. So where did the metal come from? Has that always been a love of yours, or as you say, you only started learning guitar, say only 10 years ago? Were you kind of always into metal beforehand, or was this a thing that came out of the guitar? When
I started getting to metal, I just listened to it. Then I was like, I need to play guitar, and then I learned it. I didn't learn it, but I just learned it by myself. I don't know any like theory or anything like that. So that's another reason why I don't consider myself a musician. I don't know any like very, all the crazy stuff there. But anyway, so. I basically just wanted to play stuff, and naturally I gravitated towards the music I listened to over time. I went through phases and stuff like that, but then when I started creating my own stuff, I naturally just liked slower tempos and more moody, atmospheric stuff. But then I wanted to add, again, gradually developing styles over time, that I wanted to add more of a hard rock and more uplifting music. So that's what with the new album, I wanted to add more of that positivity, uplifting, and just emotion, honestly. I always want my music to be emotional and just, teaches a lesson. And that's what I really try to retain with the music that me and Kate try to make. And that's the main goal all the time. If it's emotional or if it sends a message to somebody, it doesn't have to be great, like crazy technical. I don't care about that stuff. I only care about if it's emotional, and if you can get something out of it, then I'm happy.
Where does that drive come from to produce something? Because some of the topics you cover, are quite feel very human, but then there's always there's a mournful element to a lot of your sound, but there's also an uplifting side of it. And you say that you want to convey this message. So I mean, you could just be writing rock songs, just like la 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 la, you know how they go, but you choose not to. And yet you
No,
don't call yourself a musician, but you certainly a composer that has a kind of like a spiritually guided methodology about
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Let's explore that.
I think yeah, this is what I really want to get into. I really love getting into like just the deeper thoughts of it. Oh my god, I love this stuff, man. I think it's because maybe I have some. I just personally for me, I think of like maybe obviously we deal a lot of emotion, but I think of things that maybe are a little bit dramatic or emotional, or just have feelings that are emotional. Or lessons I want to learn, or lessons I have learned. I kind of just want to like almost like use music. Music is like my avenue to kind of like push these themes and like lyrics and lessons. Uh, just a bigger grand scheme of things. That's basically what I want to share to other people. And I just use music to convey it. If I was if I was good at painting, I would do painting to do that, right?
Hmm.
But the thing is that I don't write the lyrics. Kate does, but I think about all the lyrical themes and like deeper emotions and what the song needs to be about, and the lesson we want to teach. That's I think about that stuff, and that's what I feel, and I just conveyed what I'm feeling to Kate, and I'm pretty sure Kate feels the same way about some other stuff as well. Like because the Polaris song, that the single,
Yeah.
um, that lyrical theme, she's like that's one of my favorite things we ever like talked about and all that. That's one of our favorite songs as well. But just lyrically, that's like she mentioned to me, that's like one of her favorite messages or lyrical themes to write about, because it's very positive and very uplifting, and which I really really think that a lot of people could use a lot more positivity in their life, and just need that you know uh, uplifting stuff that they
Have you
can introduce in their lives.
have you seen a lot of negativity in your life?
Uh, oh, in my life, I think most of it is I put on myself. you know,
Hmm.
uh, that's why I think of like when I listen to songs and I just like I hear some of the themes they talk about, or just hear even some lines of lyrics. I'm like, wow, why does that touch me so much? And then I'm like, maybe it's because I could use it. Maybe because I need that. I needed to hear that kind of lyric to kind of like feel better about myself. So that's that little spark I might hear in a song, or I might even see visually on a piece of art. I want to try and I use that spark to kind of as inspiration to kind of like conjure up a theme or a story, something that can help send that message out. And then I'll either like write an instrumental that will fit into that lyric, or I would think of a lyric that would, or I would think of a theme that would match into the vibe of the instrumental I have.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting process. So,
yeah,
does do you kind of just you don't? I take it you don't just record music without any sort of concept, or do you find a concept that inspires you and then find a track that you've written and put it to that, or a bit of both? What's your most common strategy when it comes to laying all this stuff down?
right. So, I would when I'm like just fiddling around on guitar and stuff like that, I would like record some ideas of like a riff or something,
Mhm.
but then I would have to go into like well, I mean, inspiration comes from many things. Either from I'm feeling something, or I heard something musically from a different band, or even just visually, just art wise. Like for the artwork of the new album we're working on,
Hmm.
I just looked at it. I was like, wow, that vibe, that's such a vibe right there. I could draw so many emotions from. It creates such an atmosphere for what the album could be. So I was like, what emotions can I draw from this? And honestly, what emotions have I not touched of from my perspective? And then I was like, that whole bundle of emotions and themes and lyrics and lyrical themes, I would want to bunch into that whole package, and that would definitely fit the look of the artwork. But in terms of like writing instrumentals or music, there's always has to be some kind of inspiration. There'll be musically from another band, or um, just emotionally, thematically, or just basically just emotion. It comes down to emotion.
You're a very calm person to talk to. I find that I deal with a lot of sort of hyperactive, energetic times, but when you talk, I feel like I want to calm down and listen. I'm not saying I'm a bad listener, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have this something innate about you that you're one of those quiet absorbers, like a sponge absorbing emotion, and then eventually you've got to get to a point where you've got to kind of leak it out through the medium
Yeah,
of
yeah.
music.
You nailed it on the head, man. Because
Oh, well, there we go.
yeah, you got it. Because when I'm just like constantly, I was listening to music for years and years, and it's like, I'm cool with playing covers, but like, I just want to like kind of get some of these ideas out and like feelings I have, right? So I guess it's just like absorb so much music that I could eventually like write some decent stuff, and not actually think about like any like you know theory about it or any kind of like, oh, this chord and that chord, just whatever sounds good, just again, you said the sponge analogy, that I'm absorbing so much music and emotions, and I think it just had to come out eventually, no matter what. I would have, that's why I was creating my own stuff, but I was like, this needs to be completed with vocals, and I just wanted to, and because you can only convey so much when you're doing instrumentals. You can create but when you have a message and you have something that runs deep within your feelings and your mind, then that could be conveyed so much better with the voice. Because honestly, when you listen to music, most people are attracted to voice, to the singer, right? That's what they mostly are attracted to, right? That's like because it's the human aspect of it.
Yes, there's an element of we want familiar communication, and that most of the time comes through voice, although you can be stirred in many ways without a voice. Sure, there's scenes of movies that hundreds of thousands of them, we could talk about those. But you seem to have got the blend of the two it's very harmonious. And one thing that I notice repeatedly is the imagery that you use, and the way you conduct yourself in the kind of the practice of putting all of your stuff together. It's very precise, it's very clean, it's very perfect. Where did you learn that skill from? Because to me, from what you've just said, it kind of sounds like you're this emotional funnel and you want to convey it, but in tandem with being the kind of quiet observer type, that output also has to be done it's supposed to be perfectly. I'll have an emotion, I'll throw a load of stuff at it, I'll mix it as whatever it is in the moment, slash an album cover together, and 4 weeks later I think I could have done better with that. I get caught up in the tidal wave, whereas you are watching the same kind of tidal wave, but you're kind of over there, and you can see its journey. You get what I mean. Where did that dynamic come from, and how did you go about kind of learning and doing all of that?
Oh man, honestly, I have no idea. I think it's just because with all the lyrical themes that we deal with and the songs and the emotion that is associated with the music, you kind of had to have that visually as well. But what's the best way to, like, what imagery do I really like that conveys like beauty, mystery, like wonder, emotion, and just whatever. I was like, the space theme that we have, and in terms of imagery and like galaxies and stars and stuff like that. Even the name too, that's
I'll come on to that.
Come on, that's perfect right there. Like, have you not looked up at like the sky and be like just wondering what just about, it makes you wonder about like your life or just like what's out there. It's just everything you think about, man. It just helps you maybe even deal with some emotions that you have just by looking up into like wonder and be like awe of like nature, and just that's the beauty part of it. And also having the female subject into like all of our artwork, that also conveys like beauty and like just the beauty aspect of it, for me at least. Yeah.
And the name Loadstar, was that something that you always had, or has it been attached to your philosophy in some of your history, or?
So honestly, that name, when we were first like writing songs, it was first a song title, but I was at work, and then that song, that title, that name just popped in my head for some reason. I was like, oh wait, what is that? That's a really cool name. And I was like, I looked up the definition of it, and I was like, that's just, if that's not something from, if that's not a random inspiration
Yes.
from I don't know where.
A message from above. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's the best way to say it. That's like perfect for me right there. Like it conveys everything I want and everything I want to showcase about this band in the name. That's it. If you look it up, that's people. People ask me about the name and they're like, "Oh, what does that mean?" Like people in my personal life, and they're like, "Wow, that's very poetic." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a really cool title and a name that you don't hear too often, honestly."
No.
Yeah. It's really
even I had to look it up, and it's funny you mentioned that the name sort of drifted in from above, and you have this female character, which you kind of have stated it's kind of about sort of a beauty aspect, but I think it's almost like a serene type of, almost like mothering, guiding, because she's always pictured above the earth and sort of maybe sort of pulling forces and correcting the streams of human nature into a healing state. That's the kind of like motion and vibe that I get of it. So yeah, it's a great fusion of all of this. Has anything? You're more than welcome. Totally welcome. Where was I? Sorry, I was just thinking. So what has anything actually ever got in the way of this musical process that you've been on? Has it ever been challenged, or have you kind of self-challenged it at all?
No, not really, honestly, because I'm honestly just making the music for myself, and Kate really likes like most of a lot of the stuff that we're doing, and I'm glad she loves it, because if she's not loving it, then it's not fun for both of them.
Well, don't ever let any self-doubt get in the way, because your accomplishments have been significant, and you have earned the title of musician already, but internally, let me inform you that despite any doubt you may have, you're on that way. And next time we have a conversation like this, it'd be nice to see musician posted all over your all over your bios and stuff.
Right.
One post that I actually kind of I thought that's unique. I saw you went round the streets of your city and stuck up advertising on lampposts and things like this. How effective was that? Because most of us would be a little bit too kind of apprehensive to do that.
Right. It's a crazy idea though, right?
Yeah.
Really crazy. Yeah. So I was thinking about like what are some ways that I could help promote this album release, right? I was like, I could put out some posters out there and legally and so I don't get fined. So yeah, I was like, I'm always trying to think of different ways how I could like promote the music that we do. So honestly, it's just a crazy idea. I was like, I have a day off, might as well just go out and do it. Honestly, I don't really care too much about people if they look at me weird, or I don't really care too much about what people think or how people see me. How people see me. I'm just doing it, just to help out. And honestly,
I think you just encapsulated it just there. That little throwaway. I did do it just to help out. I think that kind of encapsulates some of your wider philosophy without you kind of realizing it, because it's kind of an act that someone kind of spreading the message to the public, but in a non-marketing kind of, you're literally bringing your product to the people quite selflessly, because there's going to be thousands of people that are not going to be interested in anything related to rock or metal or whatever, or who are just going to ignore it. But this doesn't faze you. The risk reward element of it is completely irrelevant, and this goes back to your inner wider philosophy. Yeah,
well, also because I was going to say that in the end I'm doing this for myself, and also I'm glad Kate likes to go on this journey with me, but in the end it's only for myself. And if I want to make sure the music is something I like to do, because if I'm not making the music for myself and I'm trying to please others, then it's like there's no point in doing it. And I keep saying this, that if I'm like, me and Kate are the only people that listen to the songs, that, and we like it, that's all that matters, honestly. People could, I've seen people that given their criticism about the songs and might find it kind of, I don't know, kind of like same or kind of boring, or based on the instrumental part. Like, that's fine. I'm like, I would just continue what I'm doing, and it's something that I like doing. And if like-minded people will jump on this, will listen to the music, and will jump on the same bandwagon as you, and the people that don't really like, or it doesn't appeal to them, they would find something else, So when I see bands, or like some of the like upcoming bands, underground bands, unsigned and stuff, if I see them saying that my music's not that, it was very niche, or like it's not appealing to some, like a grander group of people, I say just make it for yourself, and people that listen to it, and then if they like it, like-minded people will come and listen, and they'll stay and listen to your music. So keep making it for yourself, and just keep doing basically doing what you're doing, honestly.
Sounds very much like a bit of a Buddhist philosophy. We say as Buddhists, that we'll accept those that come, we won't pursue those that leave or don't want to come. And you've adopted that kind of. It's such an easier life, having that, because a lot of people get into music for the right reasons initially, but then they start listening to the market, and you know what, markets come and go, and markets are about profit and supporting the fat cats, and it's always the most creative individual that gets pushed out of any big kind of success, and that's just how it's been since the dawn of time. So your standpoint of remaining authentic, because I believe people buy people, and I haven't been emotionally overwhelmed by your run-of-the-mill pop song produced by a massive sort of company. It's been well, Pink Floyd had their sound because they were Pink Floyd and there was no one else around it. If you go to the heavier extreme side, I could pick any of the bands, and of course, and the musicians I hear regularly and stuff on my channel. As soon as there's that flash of authenticity, it's like, no, I'm sold. And that's kind of something that I am trying to seek to promote, because we've all got to whatever our wars and our histories, we've all got to pick up our lives and kind of win our own battles and do things for ourselves. I'm not saying it in a selfish way, but if we don't attune our own talents for our own enjoyment, they won't ameliorate our own sufferings with our own inbuilt happiness, if you get what I mean.
Of course, I totally understand it. And honestly, thank you for all this, all your efforts and like helping out the bands that you're working with, and having us onto your label there. I appreciate all the hard work, man. Like all your thoughts and just everything, man. I appreciate it very much, and you're very genuine, and what you're doing is very genuine. So, I just want to let you know I appreciate it, and thanks for the support, like for us and like we're doing here. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is what it is. We're just doing what we're doing, and we're glad that I could call you friend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've been a huge supporter of all my endeavors, my music, my videos. There's not really many posts or uploads that go by without one of your supportive comments. I'm absolutely trash at social media when it comes to replying, because I'm so easy, so busy. And hang on, let me just.
For you personally too, like with you were trying to combat your smoking habits and all that, and just like even like mentally, I mean everybody could relate mentally and all that stuff, how with self-consciousness, but yeah, I'm just even with you, when I see you doing good, I love to see it, man.
So
well, and all that stuff.
I quit the smoking, I jumped back on, and now I've got this, but it's 0% nicotine, so I have effectively given up everything but the dummy habit. And this thing looks like a bloody kid's toy. Look at it. Yeah, so and it's got a thing to go around your neck, but I think eventually I'll get tired of it. So all the nasty components and expenses are out of the window with it. It's just that. So I've got to that stage, and it's freeing up so much money for bits and pieces with the label. But no, it's been it's an absolute honour to have you and Ergo Kate on board. You know, whilst my label, our label, is kind of a very colourful and has a lot of brutality in there, it's nice to have your authenticity, just like the other side of the coin, which will lend people in who kind of are into that dynamic, but like a bit of heavier stuff sometimes. So you know, your place is. I'm so glad that you said yes. I was kind of apprehensive about whether or not you'd come on board, but you literally didn't hesitate for a second, and I was I did
not actually.
Yeah, overwhelm. So a long and positive future. So what's next? You're working on a new album.
Yeah. So we got obviously the artwork is ready. Well, at least the cover, and then we have the intro track, which is done. I'm getting the second track already mixed, and this one has growls.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the dark side. Welcome to the dark side.
To show the album cover actually, because it shows just showcase everything that we a New Darker sound for that. At least that some songs on that album. We're planning it at least. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But you never know how songs turn out, because when you're in the process of them, and because I'm on the inside making them, right? So honestly, when I see people that like for you, like your review for our album Polaris, when it went to so much detail, and you read between the lines so well, that I was so happy that our what we were trying to achieve with our music. And
well, this is down to your musicianship and your philosophy. Yeah, you know.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just glad to see that all of the underlying messages that are in the music, that even when you have to think about it a little bit deeper, I'm glad it's actually reaching people, and actually it's people are picking up on it. So I'm really glad that it shows us that we're doing something proper and doing it correctly,
Well,
so yeah,
maybe
thank you.
You're very welcome. Maybe in some ways you are one of those messenger guys sent from forces that we are unaware of. You are indeed Loadstar. So this Zoom, because I'm the chief, I have the free version. This Zoom has gone by so quickly. It's been absolutely fantastic having you, and yeah.
Thank you, man.
On to getting your name out even more. Lots of marketing stuff with the label and lots of activities and lots more work.
So actually, just before we go, we need to give more credit to obviously Kate, because when we work on tracks, now it's just 50-50. We work on, we have equal say in, like, obviously I don't remember lyrics or anything like that, but I could mention to her like, oh, I could basically in the end it's 50-50 for our in creating the songs, and she won't be afraid to like make me change some things that we could improve on. So I just want to give more credit to Kate.
Oh yeah,
top line, and she's just such an amazing singer, and every song that we do,
absolutely like fire. If she's down for next time you put a single up, if she's down even to kind of do a freeway screen thing, I'd love to get the opportunity to get her take on everything and commend and commend her face to face for her input. It's what a vocal.
Oh, incredible. I can't. Yeah, absolutely amazing person, and just overall great talent. But I'll try and see if she's willing to do that. It's just I know she's really busy right now because she's she's moving. So getting a new house and cleaning it up and trying to organize everything. So she's a little bit busy right now.
No rush. When you've got a new single, when we've developed the next single campaign, there we are.
Right.
we can talk about that then. But yes, got just a couple of minutes. Any kind of words of wisdom to perhaps people like you, your younger self 10 years ago, picking up a guitar, not calling themselves a guitarist or a musician and stuff?
I just say just I'm probably not even want to speak for this because I'm not I'm not even that good. But
I'm pushing you in. I'm pushing you in the box of someone that's experienced now. You see what I'm doing? I'm making you challenge yourself a little.
Thank you, man. But actually, okay, I'll give myself some credit right now. I know I improve on my songwriting and like in terms of like song structure and like maybe writing some more detailed instrumentals instead of basic, formula. So I'll give myself that credit. And Kate has mentioned that to me too, that I have drastically improved. So I give myself credit for that. But in terms of like people that may feel the same way as me, just keep doing what you're doing, just do what you love. And if you want to improve, and then you have the internet. There's so many avenues to learn and develop your skill. I don't particularly need technique to do what I like. I don't need technique. I don't need any like elaborate effects or anything like that. I'm just pretty bare bones about it. I just want to write some really nice song structured instrumentals, and then I'll give it to Kate, and then she'll put on her amazing vocals and synth and piano and stuff like that. So just continue on your road you are on, and improve if you want to get better, and just make sure it's pure and make sure that you're doing it for yourself. That's all I can say.
Authenticity, humility, humble. It's been awesome talking to you, Jensen.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Speak soon, man. Take care.
Take care of that too.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.